are in the silence you're avoiding. So, lessons about problems and stress. Number one, problems are a feature of life, not a bug. And there will never come a time when you have no problems. What, did you think you were going to wake up one day and there'd be no more problems, like completing a video game level and going to a map where there's nothing there? Right? Things are always going to incur problems. Your problems will change, but having problems is going nowhere. Number two, whatever negativity is consuming your thoughts probably won't matter in 3 months' time. Like in 3 months, you won't remember the corrosive texture of your own mind, or the boring, repetitive things that you thought, or maybe even what you worried about. I think, what were you worrying about 3 months ago, right now? Probably can't remember. But all of the time that you spent worrying will have passed. So you're sacrificing your joy and your presence in the moment for a problem that you won't even be able to recall in the future. So learning comes from the edges. Number three, change is uncomfortable, and it rarely occurs without a lot of stress.
Learning comes from the edges?
From the edges,
what does that mean?
Proximate zone of development.
What does that mean?
You pushing yourself just beyond what you're comfortable with. And sometimes this can be emotional pain too. Leaving the job happens when you get pushed out of region beta on the bottom end, or growth happens when you overextend yourself the right amount, not so much that you get injured, but so much that you're challenged, that this is a new zone for you to get into. And clawing up, wow, and it expands your potential, your idea of what you're able to do, and it pushes you so that your system becomes more resilient on the other side. Many of the periods of important change that you have had in your life have only occurred because of severe challenges you faced. Like, look back, almost all of the big periods of growth in your life have germinated from your lowest points. In retrospect, would you have avoided them if you could? Probably not. So, yeah, this challenge is a gift. You can lean into discomfort as if you invited it through the door. It's like, oh, there we are. Hello.
When we talk about metrics of success, you talk about observable metrics and hidden metrics of success?
Yeah, so a lot of the time we'll trade a hidden metric for an observable metric. Something that's observable would be your job title, what your salary is per year, how many people know you, your bank balance, the size of your house, the car that you drive.
Things people can see.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
The only way that your success can be judged is outwardly. So naturally, we trade something which people can't see for something that they can see. For instance, lots of people would trade a longer commute for a higher salary or a better job title. One of the problems that you encounter with that is that the length of your commute is one of the most correlated stats with your happiness. Longer commutes reliably make people more miserable. And what's the hidden metric that you've lost by doing that? Well, that's less time with your family, with maybe your kids that are growing up, with your wife to connect. That's less time to pursue your own passions, even if your job is your passion. So what about a more stressful career? Going to move into a different industry that's way more stressful, but it pays more. Observable metric. What's the hidden metric? What about the peace of mind that you have as you go to sleep at night? What about what that does to your health and the quality of your relationships and your ability to be present on a weekend? So you're not able to turn your phone off because your last job was 9 to 5, but this one is 24/7. Well, it's difficult to say because you're like, people want and need real resources. I want to improve the quality of my family. That's a noble thing to do. But after a while, you have to admit, if you already live a comfortable quality of life and you trade it, you trade your happiness or your peace in order to get more, you're making a bad choice because you're going to sacrifice something that you want, which is happiness, peace, connection, for something that's supposed to get the thing that you want.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you can't take a vacation without spending half your time on your laptop, or delegating feels super risky because no one else kind of knows it like you do, and most of the company's knowledge, exists inside of your head? Or maybe your team looks to you for every single answer, even the tiny ones, and you secretly resent them for it? Or you worry of what would happen to revenue if you got sick or disappeared for a month because all the sales and fulfillment rely on you? Or maybe you just feel...
There's a wonderful idea called productivity dysmorphia. So it's the inability to see your own success. It's like to acknowledge the volume of your own output. So it sits at the intersection of burnout, imposter syndrome, and anxiety. You think of it like ambition's alter ego, basically. Like the pursuit of productivity spurs us to do more, while robbing us of the ability to savor any of the successes that we achieve along the way. So first off, people are not particularly good judges of how productive they are. I think so many people are whipping themselves into submission, saying you're not doing enough, because in the past that motivated them to do more.
Yeah.
And after a while, you have to accept, I'm doing quite a lot. And if you were an athlete on a sports team and your coach only ever pointed at you when you made a bad play, you wouldn't feel particularly motivated by that. But a lot of people have this sense of productivity debt. They wake up every day feeling as if they're already behind. And only if they dominate their entire day perfectly can they drag themselves back up to some minimum level of acceptable output. And only then can they go to sleep that night without feeling like a loser. This means that your set point is loss, and the best thing that you can do if you crush the day is get to a draw. You never win. And then there's this sort of weird drill sergeant in the back of your mind that's saying, all right, you can have a little bit of a break now, but just so you know, as soon as you wake up in the morning, it's all going to happen again. It seems to me that on every hero's journey, as soon as they make the commitment to go from where they are to where they want to be, their self-belief never wavers. Right, sure, there's ups and downs in the journey and the progress, but their conviction doesn't slip. It's like at that moment, the clouds parted and I was sure I was going to become a UFC fighter, I was going to become a businessman, I was going to get off drugs, change my mindset, whatever. In my experience, that's not the way it is at all. Like your entire journey of personal growth is just steeped in doubt and self-pity and uncertainty, and it tarnishes the whole experience. It's not sexy. It's not cool. You're like, this is supposed to be my Rocky cutscene. It's 3.5 minutes in the movies, but it's been 4 years for me. What's going on? There's not even the promise that there's any glory on the other side of it. And this is exactly why it's so much easier to just go back to your old patterns.
I guess this lonely chapter idea is a consequence of what will happen when you go in pursuit of a big goal. You want to start the business, you want to quit the job, whatever. Explain to me what the lonely chapter is.
The lonely chapter describes a time in your life where you're so developed that you can't really resonate with your old set of friends, but you're not yet sufficiently developed that you've built a new set of friends.
Give me an example.
You have decided to stop drinking. Your New Year's resolution is 6 months, I'm going to stop drinking. You can go out with your friends that want to go to the pub on an evening time, but you feel a little bit ostracized. So your change is creating some friction between you and them. Your friends like to play Xbox on an evening time, and that's how they hang out, but you want to start going to the gym. But your friends don't go to the gym, and then when you do hang out with them, you're talking about the gym because that's your new thing. And they're still talking about Xbox. So there is a friction that happens as you try to grow. Because if your friends don't grow at the same pace as you, you don't speak the same language. A friend referred to it as changing your dialect so much so that over time you and your friends don't even speak the same language anymore. And it's very uncomfortable because it's tempting to go back to the old life that you're used to, the old patterns, the old routines, the old friend groups, the old everything. And you have to stop doing the things that you know bring you validation in the moment to start doing the things that you have no idea about whether it'll actually work. Like, you're going to tell me that I'm not going to go out with my friends this weekend because I'm going to keep my meditation streak going. Who even knows if meditation works, right? It's so much easier to just stay in the routine that you were previously, doing the same sorts of things. For you to pull away from that, you're going to have to do stuff usually that makes you more different, more easy to be mocked, and more alone. And the initial sad reality is that on your journey of personal growth, at some point, you may need to leave a group of friends behind who aren't growing at the same pace as you. But the really sad reality is that if you do it a lot, you may have to do this multiple times throughout your life. And it's not a value judgment about who's better or who's worse. It's just a stark reality of what happens when you start to make changes in your life. People make small changes, they do little things. Lose 5 pounds, or they change companies. But how many people do you know that have really changed their mindset, lost 50 or 100 pounds, or changed careers, or moved from the city that they grew up in? It's rarer. And I think the reason that I love this lonely chapter idea is that it names something that a lot of people feel is a bug, not a feature of personal growth, which is this discordance with their old patterns and their old friend groups, and the fact that they don't know whether the uncomfortability is supposed to be there. Is this discomfort right? Is my self-doubt? Surely I should just believe and see it, believe it, achieve it. Am I not supposed to just be, single-mindedly going toward my goal?
Hello.
Do you want to play with me?
Sure. You want me to help you with your groceries?
Yeah.
This journey with childhood cancer comes at you in waves. Every day we wake up knowing that our 2-year-old has cancer. It's tough to get through.
This doubt is supposed to be there. I can promise you that every single person who has gone from a place where they didn't want to be to one where they did has had to go through this lonely chapter and deal with all of this. You can just do things. Just do it anyway. Do it tired. Do it sad. Do it lonely. Do it without a role model. Because if you're waiting for somebody to come along and give you that helping hand, sometimes you're going to be waiting too long.
It reminds me so much of Jeff Bezos' shareholder letter, where he talks about resisting the equilibrium. In his final 2020 shareholder letter said, differentiation is survival and the universe wants you to be typical. And the way that this dovetails into what you've said is your environment is very, very much holding you in place. And actually, in every facet of life, every organism is currently expending a huge amount of energy just to resist the pull to be typical.
Regression to the mean.
Exactly. So if you were to leave your friendship group now, the amount of energy it's going to take to stay untypical is tremendous. To be different in any context or environment, work is being done, to stay atypical. And I think about this as we come into the new year, which is if you're planning to be different, quit the job, go and be the violinist in Peru, start the cupcake business, it's going to cost you so much energy to resist the equilibrium that you better, going back to what you said about subtracting things, you better save energy somewhere else. I had a neuroscientist on the podcast that was the neuroscientist that discovered we have a biological budget of energy, literally like a bank account. And what tends to happen, I think, and why the New Year's stats are so horrific in terms of the amount of people that stick to their goals, is we go in search of a new state, a new life, that's going to cost us even more energy to resist our current environment without budgeting for it by saving elsewhere. And I think about this through the lens as a business owner, because as a company, we'll become like the mean the minute we stop the fight. The minute we stop experimenting, the minute we stop pushing the boundaries, the minute you give up the fight, you will become every other show.
That's what I meant when I said problems are a feature of life, not a bug. There will be no day when you don't have any problems. And railing against it. Why is the flight delayed? Because flights get delayed. That's why. And did you think that there was going to be a day when no flights were delayed? That you were going to reach some escape velocity where this was no longer an issue? I love this analogy using escape velocity. Imagine that we've got a rocket ship here. So when this is taking off, on the launch pad is when it needs the most energy. The inertia is the highest, the resistance is the most. So that's when you need to use whatever fuel you've got. Use the chip on your shoulder from the kids that bullied you in school. Use your desperate desire to be seen by that girl out there. Use your need for validation from your parents, whatever it is. What happens when this takes off? This fuel source switches off and then the booster rockets come on. That's as you get to a different level of altitude. And now you're using a different sort of fuel source, and then this falls away, the bottom falls off, and it keeps on going. And then it gets into escape velocity. Use what you have at the start. And at the start, most people have way more discontent than they do love.
Even this ties right back to New Year's resolutions, because if I am going to make a change and reach escape velocity, then I'm going to need to focus all my energy and therefore save leakage, like save wasted energy in this moment of time. And I've heard you talk about this when you do your annual review, that, again, it goes back to what I was saying, like, you do need to cut some shit, and you can't have it all at the same time if you are going to change your life.
This is one of the problems of overcooking your goals for the next 12 months. I think you can probably do two big things in 2026. Two big things. You can probably lose 20 pounds and get a boyfriend that you really, really love. You can't do that and move cities and start a new business and learn to play the piano. No. And that, again, is why don't go into a buffet and assume that however much food you put on the plate, your stomach will just expand to fit it in. Because what you're going to guarantee is that you fail next year. You can almost guarantee that you fail at doing this thing. Is it great to set your sights high? Yeah, that's real cool. And maybe you've got lots of things that you want to do, but just what would have to happen by the end of next year for you to look back on it and consider it a success? And what if you created a rank ordered list? I'm like, okay, I need to kill one of these. And you left yourself with one or two. What's left? You'd only do one thing next year. Cross that off, cross that off, cross that. What am I left with? I really want to lose the weight. There we go. Now we can break that down into individual steps. I need to get a gym membership. I need to get some cool gym wear that makes me feel good as I go to the gym.
What is the most important things we haven't talked about? The strivers who want to make change, become someone else.
Stop taking life so seriously. Like, no one is getting out of this game alive, literally. In 3 generations, no one will even remember your name. And if that doesn't give you liberation to just drop your f***ing problems for a moment and find some joy, I don't know what will. Like, life is inherently ridiculous and guaranteed to end sooner or later. So you might as well enjoy the ride. This is this deferred happiness syndrome thing, dude. Like, don't wait. Life really is happening right now. There is this belief that once life's duties are out of the way, then you can finally start doing the thing you want to and fully living your life. It's called the provisional life. This sort of strange feeling that you're not yet in your real life. For now, you're doing this thing or that, but there's always the fantasy that at some point in future, the real thing will come about. There is a kind of urgency that I think we could all do with, and that's not to put pressure on people so that they feel like a failure if they fall short. It's not to deny the fact that people have got real, legitimate resource and time constraints that mean that they can't do a thing. But don't wait, because life really is happening right now. And I can't think of many times when you're going to regret trying to make something happen.
At GNC, you'll find all the newest protein innovations, like the new and improved GNC Amp-Waybolic. GNC took the most studied protein formula on the market and made it even better, so those gains get even bigger. Get it now, only at GNC.
This President's Day, you can wait for a sale price, or you can get the best price every day at Bob's Discount Furniture. So shop now to get more of what you love. More style, more comfort, and more choices when you dare to compare at Bob's.
Let me just ask you this, Mr. Risk Taker. What's the bigger risk? Carrying on, like you're going, or taking the deeper dive? What's better? Take eight big risks in life, sin once, miss the mark once, but get 7, achieve 7 out of 8, or take 100 risks and achieve 8 of them. My hunch is that if there's a God, he's saying, go for the 100 and get 8, rather than 8 and get 7. If you're not taking enough risk to sin or miss the mark, to fail, then what are you doing, man? Don't come back with even money. Come back with the safe bets.
You cannot afford not to.
I get the sense that feelings are one of these strange bets, emotions, investing ourselves, not holding a bit back, not putting one foot out, like putting it on the line, opening up.
Yeah.
that feels like a retreat in kind, but one that's plausibly deniable. When we just have one foot out, I didn't fully commit myself to this this project, this relationship, this friendship, this self-transformation. And it means that if failure comes along, it doesn't hurt as much.
Yep.
But it also means that success is less likely. And if success comes along, you know that you didn't really earn it.
We have to define success for ourselves. And then we have to put in the work to maintain it. Take that daily tally. Tend our garden. Keep the things that are important to us in good shape.
No. Don't study the result. What was the person doing when they got there? And everybody who's achieved something great was some sort of outlaw.
Yep.
Some
Imbalance.
sort of hustler. Out of balance, out of whack, dark times. Whoa.
Airstream.
Still wakes up in the middle of the night and glad they're wearing a mouth guard because they'd have chipped all their teeth with that fucking nightmare they were having about those things they did back then. I'm one of those.
Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character.
Let's carry on and trust and be ready to do the work to say, we're not gonna just let that slide anymore. No, make a sacrifice today. Sacrifice a plastic ring today for a gold crown tomorrow. Sacrifice something today for more freedom tomorrow. Sacrifice something today for a possible healthier future for your kids.
Be brave, take the hill, but first answer that question, what's my hill? Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that will jeopardize your soul.
You've got this great line where you say, so many people are obsessed with how to live longer instead of how to live better. How do you come to think about that?
I'm for it, the longevity. I'm for it. But in the pursuit of it, are we measuring quality of life along the way? Some people aren't. And I personally don't want to have the highest number, but then go, oh, that wasn't any fun, or I didn't enjoy that, or that sucked. Profit measures quality with the quantity. So I'm saying real success is when you have profit. Well, really great longevity would be for those quality years, quality time left in this life. I also say that because while I'm not looking forward to it, I'm not really afraid of death or dying. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm shaking my boots if I'm face to face with that great white. You know what I mean? I'm not looking forward to it. But I see it as obviously it's inevitable, and obviously I personally see it as hopefully a comma, you know, not a period. So tomorrow is not today's measurement when the misery is bad enough, right? These people don't have to the suffering consideration. It's a privilege, man. I'm trying to put food on the table right now. I'm paying my rent tonight. You want to talk to me about investing in my future? And I say, and that's part of what faith and religion are for. To help those in misery hang on to a hope that will most likely not be served them in this life. To sell them belief and faith that they will be served in the next. And what if there is nothing there, man? What if there's nothing to hope for? What if there's no next? I don't know. But either way, in misery here or without a heaven there, not having any hope or faith in anything is a certain way to remain where you are forever. But if you can find something that you can keep going, something that no matter how small to look forward to and continually have faith in and chase, well, then your life here is gonna be better now, heaven or not. Let's go to the dream. Let's flip that script. I always have gone from nonfiction to say, let's make that the dream. Just keep living. Art emulates life. Let's go to dreams. Let's go to poems, prayers. These are pursuits of an ideal beauty. These are in between the lines. This is in between the math. This is not academic. This is not intellectual. These are ideals that we pursue, the beginner's mind that we have as a child before we know worse. And I don't want to be ignorant. I don't want to be foolishly optimistic. Let's look to those and believe that we can still make those real.
Sorry, I'm just a bit uncomfortable. It's my mattress.
Good thing you came to Slumberland. This Stearns & Foster provides the ultimate comfort and craftsmanship for a luxurious sleep.
Amazing.
Slumberland. Stop stressing, start sleeping.
Shop your new mattress your way at Ashley. Browse our wide selection online from the comfort of your home, or come in and see what feels good at one of our conveniently located stores. Shop Ashley in-store or online today.
I grew up only knowing sort of the courage of the persistence. You're resilient, endure, get up, dust yourself off, go. The problem with that, the Achilles heel with that, is if you get up and you have the courage to keep on going every time and get up and dust yourself off, you make the same mistakes each time around because you never backed up. To have what I've now learned and still learning is the courage to go, no, I'm gonna let some people pass me in the race right now because I'm gonna look at why I keep stepping in that damn same pothole and twisting my ankle, the same spot. Why I keep failing when I try to get that next spot in this relationship.
There is a unique sort of circle of hell that is reserved for when you keep on making the same mistake over and over again. That you've done it, you've had to pay the penance, say that you're sorry, and then arrive straight back at the same place.
Yeah, I think there's a hell in the mirror. Then I think it can become a living hell. Like I got that poem in there, Daymares.
I love that one.
I do too. You know, nightmares suck, but at least you wake up. And they're over. It's the ones that stick with you when you wake up and go through your day that are right there. Those are the ones. That's the living hell. I think that's what you're talking about. And you repeat offend enough, word gets out. The circles gets out. People doubt you. On your approach, you're like, yeah, but don't do this. I mean, all of a sudden, you're going places and you gotta look over your shoulder. You gotta see who's there that I didn't pay back. Who do I owe? What bridge did I burn? What person did I betray to get where I am? That's a life. That's a living hell.
In the modern world, you can move from city to city. At least you can, in some regard, leave your reputation behind. However, if you lose your reputation with yourself, if you no longer trust you, I don't keep my own word. I know that I'm not a trustworthy person. I keep making promises to myself and to other people, and I keep on breaking them. I keep doing something that hurts other people, or the same person. They don't trust me anymore, and I don't trust me anymore.
The rom-com time, that was definitely me doing the work I was doing and only being able to do the work I was doing and offer the roles I was getting in the rom-coms was eating at me. Because I felt like life is good, man. I make good money. I feel like I can roll out of bed and do one of these tomorrow morning. Well, that's cool. I'm the go-to guy for this. I was countered by, I had met Camilla, fallen in love. She's now pregnant with her first child. My life was extremely vital, and I was alive, cried harder, laughed louder, felt more joy, all those things. But my work was like, all right. And I was like, well, I wish my work could be as challenging or as vital as my life. And I remember looking in the mirror going, well, be glad right now. Appreciate that it's not the other way around.
Good morrow, family. I have prepared a Thomas's breakfast for you to savor together.
Thanks, Tom. Hey, are English muffins from England?